Hi, Miguel. How are you?
I'm fine, you?
I'm great, thanks, and yourself. And I look forward to knowing about your journey. So tell me, how did your journey start to becoming a singer and songwriter?
Well, it all started. When I was young, my parents loved music, and it was always around my life. Especially, they always had LPs and vinyls around me, and we used to have a vinyl player, and that was like the one thing that encapsulated me to really love music.
Hmm.
And I started singing at I think around the age of 6, and I only did it partially. I used to perform at like different venues and I loved what I did, but eventually I started to give up on it. But I think it was somewhat around 2020, I realized that I really had a knack for it. I loved it. So that's why I came back into it.
Can you clarify to me? You mentioned LPs. So what's that?
Vinyl records. Like, I love, like, the big CDs, vinyls?
Hmm.
Yeah, my parents had a lot of those. And
Okay, okay,
like Bee Gees albums, uh, The Night Shift, like all of these big albums, and I would just listen to them on repeat.
okay. Who are the singers and songwriters that you look up to?
Oh, that's a big one. Definitely would be um, Justin Bieber, firstly. Shawn Mendes, the Beatles,
Hmm.
and this is going to be a surprising one, but Juice
Hmm.
WRLD. He is an artist.
Sorry.
Recently,
Oh,
Juice
sorry.
WRLD.
Okay, Juice WRLD. Okay.
Yeah, he
All
was
right.
a rapper for a while,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah.
Okay. So what have been your highlights thus far?
My biggest highlight definitely has been performing one of my biggest songs, Long Gone, in youths because I had everyone turn the lights off and they all had their phone torches on, and while I was performing, everyone was waving it in the air, and it just felt magical in that moment.
Hmm.
That's got to be my favorite point in my music career ever. That was amazing.
Okay, and any lowlights, if any?
Ooh. Um, there's definitely been rough patches,
Hmm.
a lot of them, because if I'm being honest, when you become
Hmm.
an artist, nobody really pays attention to you as much as you think they would.
Hmm.
Because I've had to struggle with times where I hear somebody else's music and I just think to myself, oh, how could I ever make something as good as that? Like you makes you want to give up. But then I have a second thought in my head. It's I can do that if I really put my time into it. So that's what I did. And it was a long and gruesome process. But eventually I just had to, even though my low points where I thought I really wanted to give up, and I did sometimes, but I always came back. And I feel like I love that about me because I really just cannot give up on music. It's the one thing in life that I can't give up on.
Okay. So what are your plans for 2025 and above?
Plans for 2025. Uh, I'm planning on making that my year. This year was my biggest year for music so far, but next year I have the plans for doing going to venues and performing live. I have plans to work with so many other artists and producers.
Hmm.
I'm gonna get my name out there, especially with promotion, and that's a whole devious process. But because being a music artist in this generation, it's really hard to blow up. So you have to become a social media influencer,
Hmm.
and I just have to continue that. So next year, I'm going to be going so hard on music. I feel that people will get sick of me because they're going to see me everywhere.
Okay. All right. I guess my final question to you would be what will be the word of inspiration for upcoming singers and songwriters?
Definitely learn how to make your own beats and backtracks. Do that first and then come to making songs. Because at the end of the day, if you keep using beats from other people, you're just gonna stack up money that you have to pay for. And that's not really the best thing to do because you cannot put your music on Spotify, people can't listen to you. It's just way easier if you make it from the beginning. And I learned that way down the road, and I wish I knew it in the beginning. And also, definitely become a social media influencer first and
Hmm.
then do music. Because having an audience and then doing music is way easier than having no audience and starting music. So,
Wow. Okay. All I gotta say is thanks so much for your time. And if you ever do come out with any new stuff, do let me know. Maybe we can do some teasers and all that.
yeah, 100%.
Okay. Thanks so much for your time, man.
No problem.